Hi, all of our viewers. Tonight I decided that I was going to interview Dave. It's a very special day today. We hit the 2,000-mile mark. How does that feel, Dave?
Feels great. We're two-thirds of the way done, and everything's holding together nicely.
Great. How is your body feeling?
Very good. No problems. I did buy a new seat today at the bike shop, looking for a little bit more comfort on the derriere.
Okay, so what do you think about when you're on the bike?
I think about a lot of things, but quite frankly, the road conditions are such that you really have to focus on where you're going. Some of these roads have very shallow or narrow shoulders with potholes and you name it, and you really have to pay attention. And then there's other times where things are smooth and you can let your mind wander and think about things. I often think about, how is this going to change my life, but I haven't got the answer to that yet.
Maybe that'll come in the last 1,000 miles. What have you learned about yourself on this ride?
Well, one thing I've learned is that with determination and proper planning, you can pretty much do anything.
Excellent. If someone else was going to do this ride, what advice would you give them?
I would say that you should train. Of course, you can't train every day, especially if you're working, but definitely train as much as you can and plan it. Planning is really important. There's so many details. It's amazing. But we planned it for a year and a half, and it was well worth taking that time to do the planning.
If there was one thing on this trip you couldn't do without, other than your bike, what would that be?
My support staff. I couldn't do without you, Claire. There's no way I could have done this in the amount of time without a great SAG driver and manager such as yourself. You do everything.
Well, thank you. What was your favorite moment so far?
Probably the most memorable was when we got to the top of the climb out of Bullhead City, Arizona.
You mean the 3,737-foot climb?
That's the one. Yeah.
What would be your least favorite moment then?
Least favorite. Probably some of the breakdowns. Others are very frustrating. When I broke my spoke for the first time and I just couldn't ride the bike anymore, that was pretty frustrating. And then when my chain wore out, that was a frustrating day. So I'd say the breakdowns.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
What state so far has been the easiest one to ride in, do you think?
Oh, by far, Illinois. Yeah, it was pretty flat, and it was easy.
It was easy.
Yeah.
Which one do you feel was your hardest?
Boy, probably Arizona.
Really?
The Bullhead City climb was pretty tough, and there was a lot of riding on the freeway, which I didn't like doing, and Route 66 in many areas the road conditions were bad, very bad.
Okay. If there was, if you could, would you do it again?
Maybe. I often say that this is a once-in-a-lifetime event because I can't imagine doing this again, but I never say never.
Yeah. Did you ever think when you broke your back that you'd ever be able to do something like this?
No, I never thought this was going to be ever possible, and it was. So I'm very thankful for that.
Absolutely. What have you learned about your wife on this trip?
that she's the greatest support person anyone could ever imagine.
Oh, that's great. What's been your favorite meal so far?
I would have to say that was tonight at Sal's Italian restaurant in Plainfield.
Plainfield,
Plainfield,
Indiana.
That's where we are today. So yes,
and especially we had the best server, Lucas.
Lucas did a great job. It was good.
He did great.
All homemade food.
So you're tomorrow. You're going to try out your new seat, which we see right there.
Yep, right here, nice and.
What was the determination? I know you had to ride it for quite a while. Is it a matter of the comfort, or is it because of all the bumps?
Yeah, because the road conditions are so bad. The vibration and the bumps. It just all that. There's no springs here. It just comes right up into your sit bones, and they just hurt. They just ache after about around 4 to 5 hours of being on the bike seat in bad conditions like that. It really started aching. So I bought a new seat today. It's got a little bit more cushion in it, and I took it for a test ride, and it felt pretty good. And that was after riding 90 miles. So I'm hoping for a good day on this seat tomorrow.
It was really nice of Jeff at Gear Up Cyclery to give you many options as well. I know he tried several things.
Yeah, he earned his pay today. We tried a couple of seats out, and he's very meticulous and got the alignment just right. So we should be good to go.
That's great. Well, I know I've enjoyed being with you these last 24 days, and I look forward to the next 14 to 16 or whatever it takes. And will you be happy if you come in early, or, I mean, are you really nervous about what's going to happen if you're late?
No, I'm just going to finish, and then we'll figure it out from there. I have to stay focused on every day, what I'm doing that day, and I can't really focus too much on the end or anything else. So, in fact, I wasn't even tracking the miles overall because I just wanted to get the next day's ride correct. So it's a lot of time spent on the road, and then blogging at night, and then navigating. There's just no more time left. It just eats up all the time.
Right. I feel the same way. You know, it's a big job. It's a full-time job.
Yeah.
I mean, and you're doing a great job at it, and I think you deserve a raise.
Well, thank you, Claire. I'll accept one.
I love you, and have a good night, everybody.
Okay, good night.
Good night.